Board of Neighborhood Council, the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners, Al Abrams. Al?
What a great turnout. I'm only going to speak for about 4 minutes so we can get on to the important things today, but it's great to see so many of my friends, and I want to say good afternoon to fellow brothers and sisters of the Neighborhood Council movement. I'm Al Abrams. I am the president of the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners, which is your Board of Neighborhood Commissioners. And first, I want to really take a moment to thank Councilmember Krikorian and his staff for making these town halls possible. The council member, in my opinion, has brought new vision and energy to the neighborhood council system, and for that, we all owe him a deep debt of gratitude. The Board of Neighborhood Commissioners was created and instituted by the city charter, which was approved by the voters in 1999. And what we do is we provide oversight and policy to the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment and all 92 neighborhood councils, yes, 92. As I mentioned from the rear, the new North Hills East Neighborhood Council was just certified by the commission last Tuesday evening. Welcome, Doug. There are 7 commission board members, each appointed by the mayor, representing one of the city's 7 planning areas. I represent the South and West San Fernando Valley, including the areas of Woodland Hills, Tarzana, Encino, Canoga Park, parts of Northridge, even parts here in Van Nuys, Studio City, and other areas of the valley. We enforce our policies by requesting to the department that an NC which has violated the law or has not followed the rules and regulations of the department, or which is out of compliance with the commission policies, has its funding program frozen, or in a worst case scenario, we can request that the department initiate decertification of an NC that has misused taxpayer funds, broken the law, or otherwise ceased to function. I happen to believe that decertification is still very important. It's what the charter specifically says we must do in certain cases. I also believe that we need a very strong department. It's my conviction that the NC funding program, however, should be handled out of the controller's office. And I've mentioned this to Wendy Gruhl several times, and I hope you will mention it whenever you see Controller Gruhl. And I believe that will allow the department to be able to put the majority of its focus and staff time on preparing for certification, neighborhood council board member training, mediation services, help with outreach, and yes, with elections. In the weeks and months ahead, the commission is going to be looking at issues such as organizing bylaws, NC elections and election challenges, because right now, the city clerk has the last word on election challenges. That should be a function of the neighborhood council system. We're also going to be looking closely at the definition of factual basis stakeholders and their impact on NC elections. We've asked for a full report from the city clerk as to why in some NCs, more than 50% of their voters were factual basis stakeholders who did not live or work in their neighborhood council. To me, that's intolerable. You can find our schedule on the Dunn website. Please come at any time to the commission hearings. Dunn, wasn't it great the other night? Share your opinions with us. Give us your point of view. We're here for you. We'll be at City Hall tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. for our once a month in City Hall hearing. We'll be on the west side on October 5th. We'll be at Woodland Hills Warner Center in early November. But our full schedule, and we'll be making a new one for 2011, will be available to you. We want to see you. Please come. I just want to say, never forget your roots and why you are here. By participating in the city's neighborhood councils, you are all direct descendants of our country's forefathers, working in an unbroken link in reinventing the ongoing, continuous revolution that we call democracy. And we are revolutionaries. But the key thing we have to remember is that we are part of the city family at the same time. We demand that our voices be heard and those of our communities. And as the council member so aptly reminded you, that's why the NC system was created in the first place, in the face of real threat of secession by the valley and other parts of the city like San Pedro that were disaffected from downtown City Hall. And all of you are also responsible for millions in Los Angeles taxpayer money. What a job. Our job together is to awake and shake the system from time to time so that newness and freshness continue to invigorate the political process here in this great city of Los Angeles. And the neighborhood councils that know how to invigorate and navigate the system do the best job for their neighbors and communities. There is going to be an opportunity today in the town halls to come in the future to bring your new ideas to improve the NC system at its core. It doesn't matter that your ideas may be different or unique. In the end, the ones that are inherently doable and positive in nature will rise to the top. These positive suggestions, these positive ideas are the ones that will find the light of day and will be implemented. And it beats complaining and grousing about what doesn't work. And I think we have way too much of that, in my opinion. And there are also too many personal attacks on our fellow NC board members. With all due respect to my friends in Sunland, Tahunga, I think Home Depot has a good idea. Let's build something together. There's a little history to that.
Someplace else.
As I lumber along. Let me give you an example of the opportunities that are available to you. And I mean this sincerely. Dr. Weissman and I have served on the NC Budget Advocacy Committee for several years. And we were elected by our neighborhood councils and our peers in the South Valley to work with the mayor on suggesting ways to improve the city's budget crisis. And during that time, I kept looking at the staggering budget deficit figures in front of me, and I kept asking myself, how can we increase tax revenues without raising taxes? Is that possible? I'm going to ask you to consider one basic fact. Sales tax revenues are the 5th largest source of cash into the general fund to help pay for cops on the beat, firefighters on the street, our great animal shelters, the zoo, the librarians, and other important services. For each $10 you pay in sales tax, the city gets $1. What if we were able to instill in the city's 4.4 million residents the need for Angelenos to think LA shop LA, and buy all their products and services in the city of Los Angeles. The additional tax revenues generated just by our own people, you, me, doing our part individually, would go directly into the general fund. And I'm happy to say that the mayor last week kicked off Shop LA as a new citywide initiative to do just that. And I want to thank Larry Frank, our esteemed deputy mayor, and Aaron Gross from the mayor's office, who worked with the task force that I put together with their help. And that's what we came up with. And that's what now you will be hearing more about in the weeks and months ahead. I feel the presence. Anyway, I want you to know,
Standing behind you as always.
neighborhood councils can use Shop LA for you to get to know your shops and restaurants and businesses better. We want everybody to bring them new customers, new business. We all profit. My last note, council members, and this is my recommendation today to modernize the NC system. I recommend going forward, all commissioners on the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners be NC board members. Either sitting on a board now or at least having served 2 years in that capacity. It's a small recommendation, I know, but it will make a big difference. I also recommend that the commission be granted new authority and powers to better root out renegade NCs that break the law, misuse taxpayers' money. In conclusion, Marie, October 2nd is my wife Linda's birthday. It is also the birthday of a great revolutionary who changed an entire nation, Mahatma Gandhi. And Gandhi said, "Be the change you want to see in the world." I would add and emphasize the missing word "you" at the beginning of that. You be the change that you want to see in the world. A more creative you, a more courteous, polite, and respectful you, a more engaged, positive, and effective you. And that means that change today starts with us. Thank you very much.